There's a built-in emergency circuit inside your brain that fires the moment joy gets too big, making you cry. Almost no one knows it exists, but you've felt it. At a wedding, a reunion, a gold medal lifted. Joy shouldn't look like grief, yet your face does the same thing. The answer hides in a Yale lab. A bride walks down the aisle and her father, a grown man, leaks water from his eyes silently. A soldier comes home and his mother collapses sobbing. A grandmother sees her grandchild and her shoulders shake. This happens in every culture on earth. Every language has a phrase for it, tears of joy. Babies do it, athletes do it. Stoic old men who haven't cried in 40 years suddenly do it. Evolution kept this strange behavior across the entire species. It didn't get filtered out, it got reinforced. Scientists actually have a name for this puzzle. They call it paradoxical crying, two opposite signals colliding.
Why would a brain wired for survival respond to its best moments the same way it responds to disasters? For a long time, nobody had a real answer. Then, a researcher in Connecticut noticed something almost everyone missed. Turns out, your tears aren't really about happiness at all. They're doing something much stranger inside you. Her name is Oriana Aragon, a psychologist at Yale. She got curious about something you've probably said out loud without thinking. When you see a tiny puppy or a chubby baby with rolls, what comes out of your mouth? I want to squeeze it. I could eat you up. You're too cute, I'm going to die. Listen to that language. It's violent, it's aggressive, it's almost cannibalistic. Yet, you're looking at something soft and innocent. Aragon called this cute aggression. She brought people into the lab, showed them photos of impossibly adorable infants. She gave them bubble wrap. The cuter the baby, the more bubbles got popped. Positive stimulus, aggressive response. The brain saw something wonderful and reached for something destructive. It was the first hard hint of something. Emotions, when they get loud enough, spill over into their opposites. Aragon gave the phenomenon a clinical name. She called it dimorphous expression. One feeling, two faces. Joy with tears, tenderness with teeth, relief with screams. It wasn't a glitch, it was a pattern, repeatable, measurable, cross-cultural across the world. But that left a much bigger question. Why would the brain ever do that? To answer that, you have to understand what crying actually is. Not the metaphor, the biology of it. Scientists believe there are three distinct types of tears. The first is basal, a thin saline film. It constantly lubricates your eye so it doesn't dry out. You make it every second and never notice. The second is reflex, that sharp burst when you slice an onion or get dust in your lash. Pure mechanics. Now, here's the strange one. The third type is called emotional, and it's uniquely yours. As far as we can tell, it exists only in human beings. No other animal sheds feeling tears. A dog whimpers, a whale moans, a chimp shrieks, but your eyes leak. That's a human invention. And these emotional tears are chemically different. Studies show they carry stress hormones flushed through your tear ducts. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, prolactin, leucine and enkephalin, a natural painkiller, manganese. Your body literally flushes chemistry out through tears. The plumbing reveals the purpose. The lacrimal gland, the little factory behind your eyelid, has direct wiring. It's wired straight into the limbic system, the ancient emotional core. Amygdala, hypothalamus, brainstem, all connected. When those regions overload, they pull a lever. The lever opens a valve, and tears come out. Crying isn't a side effect of emotion. Crying is a physiological pressure release, a built-in safety mechanism. In your brain, joy and grief share the same wiring. Now, meet the system that pulls the trigger. It's called the autonomic nervous system. Two branches working against each other like a gas pedal and a brake. The sympathetic branch is your accelerator. It fires whenever something big is happening inside you. Danger, excitement, surprise. Your heart speeds up, your pupils dilate, your palms sweat. Blood rushes to your muscles. You feel electric. The parasympathetic branch is the brake.
It slows you down, tells your heart to calm, your shoulders to drop. These should balance, but here's the thing. Your body cannot tell the difference between intense joy and intense fear. The same gas pedal gets slammed for both. Picture standing at the edge of a tall cliff, heart pounding. Now picture standing at the altar about to marry the person you love, heart pounding the same way. The chemistry is almost identical. Same cortisol, same adrenaline, same flushed face, same dry mouth. Body reads intensity.
It doesn't read the story. So when joy surges hard enough, the accelerator goes too far and risks overshooting. And that's when the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your whole body, suddenly slams the brakes hard. It triggers the parasympathetic. It floods you with calm. It cuts the engine completely down to zero. And in that exact moment of the switch, the lacrimal gland releases and tears begin to fall. They are not the emotion. They are the receipt, the mark of the moment you stepped off the gas. Which is why grief and joy feel strangely identical. Same exhaust pipe, same quiet smoke rising up. Now back to Aragon. She didn't just notice the phenomenon. She tested it in a quiet experiment. Her study quietly rearranged how psychology thinks about emotion, and it started with photographs of newborn babies. She showed two groups tiny, fragile, ridiculously cute newborn photos, then measured exactly how each person reacted. Some just smiled. Some felt that aggressive overflow, the "I want to squeeze you" reflex. Some teared up. Then she carefully tracked their emotional state in the minutes after, and the result surprised absolutely everyone. The people who cried recovered fastest. Their arousal dropped. Their heart rate normalized. Their mood reset quickly. Contrary to popular belief, crying didn't drain them. It reset them. The tears were doing a job. The brain was using them as a regulator, not an expression of feeling, but a tool to manage feeling. Aragon and her colleagues called this the homeostasis hypothesis. Your emotional system always tries to return to balance. When joy spikes too high, the body pulls it back. When grief drops low, the body pulls back up. Tears are part of how that pull happens. They are not weakness, not overflow, not a malfunction. They are a thermostat. And this quiet regulator works far beyond joy, into every emotion you feel. You've seen it everywhere, you just didn't name it. People laugh at funerals, not because death is funny. Their nervous system is overloaded with grief and reaches for the opposite to balance itself. Soldiers giggle in firefights. Crash survivors describe sitting in wrecked cars, breaking into hysterical laughter while glass is still settling around them. Rage smiling. You've done that. Someone hurts you so badly that all you can do is grin back. Fear giggling. You're watching a horror movie and you can't stop laughing at the scariest, most terrifying part.
Relief sobbing. You hear the test was negative, the surgery worked, the missing child was finally found safe. You collapse onto the kitchen floor, crying like someone just died. It's the same circuit, same vagal brake, the same overflow valve, different doorways. Watch an Olympic athlete on the podium when the anthem plays. They've trained 20 years for the single greatest moment of their life. And what does their face do? It crumples, like a child's, like someone who just lost everything they ever loved in this world. Watch a mother holding a newborn and listen to what she whispers softly under her trembling breath. I could eat you. I want to bite your cheeks. You're so cute I could honestly die. It sounds insane out of context. In context, it's the most universal thing humans actually say aloud. The brain pulls itself back from a cliff of unbearable tenderness by reaching briefly for its opposite.
But here's the thing. There's one more layer to all this, and it's deeply, profoundly, fundamentally social. Because tears do something else. They are public, visible, wet, shiny, undeniable. You cannot fake a real tear easily. You cannot hide one once it falls. Scientists believe evolution kept emotional crying as an honest signal you cannot fake. When another human sees you cry, something happens in their brain. Their aggression drops, their empathy spikes. Studies show a tear on someone's face changes how they're perceived. Softer, more trustworthy, more in need of help. But here's the twist. Research suggests emotional tears carry actual chemical signals that act on the observer's body. One Israeli study found men who sniffed women's emotional tears showed measurable drops in testosterone. The tears were doing chemistry. Imagine you're living in a small tribe 40,000 years ago. Someone returns from a hunt everyone thought was lost. Joy explodes in the group. Bodies overload, tears fall, glistening on every face, doing two things at once. They reset each nervous system. They invite the whole tribe to share the moment. Come closer, lower guard, bond. Joy crying isn't just regulation, it's recruitment. It says, I am overwhelmed. Come share this with me. This is safe. Evolution rewarded the visible overwhelm. The ones who could cry from joy held their tribes together. Their genes carried forward. Yours, in part, came from them. So, what does all this mean for you, right here, right now?
Happy tears are not weakness, not loss of control, not something to hide behind sunglasses or quickly blink away. They are your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Regulation, protection, release. Nothing more, nothing less. When you suppress them, you don't stop the emotion, you trap your nervous system stuck on the accelerator pedal. The arousal stays, the cortisol stays, the tightness in your chest stays. You walk around for hours feeling buzzed. You feel anxious, slightly off, unable to land. The wave didn't finish its cycle, the brake never engaged inside. But here's the twist, the opposite is also true. When you let the tears come, you close the loop. The vagus nerve does its job, the parasympathetic floods in. Your heart slows, your breath deepens. Calm quietly returns. 2 minutes later you feel oddly clean, lighter, returned to yourself. That is not coincidence, biology completing a sentence. Your brain is not betraying you.
It is protecting you, metabolizing an experience too big to hold raw inside. It turns a wave that could drown you into a wave that simply passes through your body and goes. Next time pressure rises behind your eyes at a wedding, graduation, or kitchen moment, just notice it happening. Don't fight it. Watch the reset happen. Feel the break. That tightness, that hot blur, that catching breath releases. That's built-in human engineering, millions of years old, working perfectly. You're not falling apart. You're coming back into balance. One mystery remains. Why do some people never cry, ever, no matter what life puts in front of them? Some adults go years without shedding a single emotional tear, not from grief, joy, or anything at all. Their nervous systems handle these waves differently, and what that does to the brain becomes its own strange story. If you want to know what happens to people who genuinely can't cry, that video is queued up next. Before you click away, tell me something honest. When did you last cry from pure, uncomplicated joy? What was the exact moment? Drop it in the comments below. I actually read them, every single one. Want more quiet breakdowns of what your brain does while you live your life?